Here we are. I need to warn you. I am in a good mood. Yes, I am. I'm in a very good mood. In a good mood. All right. You know how sometimes you just be going through life and a few good things happen. Because they happen every now and then. Good things happen. Good news comes your way. Or somebody you love, something good happens to them. It's good news. It's good things. So, that puts you in a good mood sometimes. Or it should. If good news comes, you should be in a good mood. And so, I'm in a good mood because, I can't tell you the things that happened. That's not what this is about. This experiment is not about all those details, but some good things happened. So I'm in a particularly good mood. Maybe I always seem like I'm in a good mood on here. I don't know. But I'd like to think that is the frame of mind that I would want to comport. Does that make sense? Always being in a good mood. Isn't that how you want to live your life? Being happy. So let's capture this moment right now while I'm in a good mood and see what happens. Maybe this will be kind of a breakout episode of this experiment. It's been going on for weeks. Yeah. And this is the latest iteration. Just the latest iteration. The experiment I'm working on. The only way to explain it is I'm like the student and the professor wrapped in one. I am logging some data. Like the words that I speak here become the entry for that week. It's like a research project. You have to, at regular intervals, measure something. You just have to record data at measured intervals. And so I picked an interval and a process of how to do it and how to document it. And here we are, multiple weeks in, and I'm just, kind of the heart of the experiment is to see if this would be interesting to anyone. Like, it's a technological test. Like, you couldn't have done this test at any other point in time. This is the first time you can do this kind of test with the technology available to anyone. Right? Technology available to any person, at least in my world. Anybody can get a camera, and anybody can get a platform for content. You just put it out there. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Ta-da. That's the experiment in a nutshell. And if you're seeing this for the first time, this is going to get redundant to people who are watching this, but right now, only one person is watching this. By the time you see this, after that one person, by the time you see this, I don't know how many people will have seen it. Maybe this will get passed around. Maybe it'll catch on somewhere. Maybe it'll find an audience. I don't know. Just watching it unfold and documenting it. And part of the experiment is the communication that develops between the audience and me. Yeah. I'm the experimenter, and it's just the idea I had. Here we go. And it's really about communicating. What do people have to say? Exchange of ideas. I'll put it on, and I'll even encourage everybody else to do the same thing I'm doing if you want. Like, start creating content to document the moment that you're going through, things you're experiencing, because that's what will define you. You will be able to define yourself. We now have that capacity where if you say, if you just start talking about things that you believe, alone or in conversation, so you can document it. I guess it's a challenge. Like, here's the experiment. Listen to this, pass it around. If you have the inclination to pass this on, and then maybe figure out how you could do it yourself. But people will say, well, what do I have to say? Well, who would want to listen to me? We all think we have something to offer the world. And it is actually doable. You know, it's just a couple things you have to do. Camera, place and time, make an account. There's a lot of people doing it, and I think it's worthwhile to do. I don't know. Just, there's certain types of content that should never get made that are getting made. This is not that. This is the opposite of that. At least that's my intent. I do like how the setup is starting to look. In this Monday episode, one of the themes I tend to critique the actual framing and what's going on. I like how the black is kind of making just a dead space. It's creating a floating jaw and upper jaw and eyes and concealing. It's like a metaphor for what I'm actually saying. Like, the visual is a metaphor for what I am communicating. I have some very exciting stuff that I'm working on. Very good news stuff that should make a lot of people very, very happy. Everyone, maybe. But it's a long process. And so this is the documentation part. I'm doing it and documenting it as I go. And you've stumbled upon it. Welcome. Welcome aboard this ride. I hope you enjoyed coming along, because you're invited. And if you want to, email me at heregoesnothing@talesofTruth.com. I'll read your emails on Friday, which I mean at the end of this recording, because this whole thing airs on Saturday.